Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Placement Way. Today I came up with a new topic that is Docker image tagging. In Docker image tagging, we have different terminologies like host name, port, as well as namespace, repository, tag, like this. These are some quite confusing. So I'll explain you in detail. Let's get into the video. So let's go to Docker documentation. Here let's go to this developers documentation, and in get started we have Docker concepts. In Docker concepts we have building images. Here we have tagging of an image. As we know, building Docker image building means bundling a whole application, which involves code base, dependencies, environment variables, like that. So that can be achieved through this Docker build command. And after building, we need to push this image that is built to some registries like ECR and Docker Hub, etc., etc. There are many registries, so we need to push to that registries. So for that we need to tag the image. That means giving some name to image. But we can give any name to the image, like just for identification and separating them from different images. So when it comes to tagging, like here we have like to push the image to some registries, we can use docker push command. So there, after let's say we have this command, right, docker push. I'll explain you in detail. So here docker push command. So here what they mentioned is, like, while pushing, the tag name itself contain all the details. That means the host name, namespace, repository, as well as tag. So we must need to get to know what are these and how to tag the image. That means while pushing, like let's say we have this command docker push space the tag. That means uh, name of the image. But in the name of the image, we need to mention all the things like host name as well as repository namespace and all those things. So that's why we need to get to know about the tagging of an image. Like for storing the images in local, we just need to give some random name. Let's say the command is docker build hyphen t. We can give some name of the image. Like we can give some random name to the image. It can be our wish, like to just store them in local. But when it comes to pushing the images to some registries, we must need to follow the rules that are mentioned in the documentation. Like here we have a structure for this we have a structure for naming the images while pushing to some registries. uh, yeah, this is the structure that we need to follow while pushing the image to the registries. So here it is the combined format of all these things, because as I mentioned earlier, in the tag itself we need to mention all the required details. So the structure is like that. We'll explain you in detail. So let's mention here. I'll mention here. Okay. Tag contain multiple things like host, port, slash path colon tag. Here host indicates the whole domain of the registry service provider. That means if we consider Docker Hub, the host will be become docker.io. If we consider Amazon, that means easier, then that will be different, like some .amazon.com, like that. So uh, this is the thing about host. So for example, it is like docker.io, and if you search about the host of this ECR, this will become yeah, like this will be like this, like dkr.ecr region amazon aws.com, like this. We have the host name of the ECR, so we need to mention like this. When it comes to ECR, in the platform itself they provide all the push commands, so we just need to follow that. But if we know about this tagging, then it can be helpful if we push the images to any type of registries. So this is about host. And when it comes to port, if we want to push the image to specific port, then we need to mention the port, like in localhost we have something like localhost 8000 and 5000, like that. It will be like 8000, 5000. Just for example, mostly we do not use in live, we just only use hostname. And when it comes to path, it is the combination of both namespace as well as repository, and its structure is like this: namespace slash repository. And when it comes to tag, it is just to differentiate the different versions of the image, like the code base will grow day by day, right? So to just differentiate between these images, we use this tag. It can be anything, like just for example we can put like v1, v2, etc. This is the whole thing about this tagging. Like here we have some default values. Let's say if we do not provide any, that means if we provide some, if we provide nothing for the host, then it will be some, there will be some default value. For host it will be like docker.io. That means if we do not provide anything for the host, then it will be by default docker.io. So let's name it as parameter, and this is the default value. It will be, that means if we provide nothing for host, then it will be docker.io. And for path, here repository name is mandatory, but for names, that means if we do not provide anything about anything for namespace, then it will be library slash we need to provide the repository, it will be mandatory. And for tag, if we do not provide anything, then it will be latest. So these are the default values, and this is the explanation of all these things. So let's go to some docker pull command. There I'll explain you in detail. Docker hub Let's search Ubuntu. This is the official image of Ubuntu, and uh, if we want to pull, the command is like this: docker pull Ubuntu. This tagging is common for push, pull, all the things. That means any operation that is regarding the shipping of these image from registry to local, local to registry, like that. So here you see, in tag we have all these parts, but here we only have Ubuntu. I'll give so as we all know, there are also default values. So the full form of this whole command is docker pull. Here you see, if we do not provide anything for the host, then it will be by default docker.io, and for namespace, if we do not provide anything, it will be library. And next thing, the Ubuntu determines the repository, so it will be repository, and colon, if we do not provide anything for the tag, then it will be latest by default. So this is the full command, that means expanded version of this docker pull Ubuntu. So as you see, there are many images in this docker hub. If we search redis, then it will be simply like docker pull redis. This is the short form, but the expanded form is this: docker pull docker.io /library repository name as well as latest. That means if there is any update, they will directly tag it as latest, and it will be convenient for us to pull by just giving docker pull and the name of the service, like redis, ubuntu, like that. This is the whole thing about tagging of an image. This will be common for docker push as well as docker pull, and even if it comes to ECR, it will be like this. And one thing I want to mention is, like in tagging, in path, namespace /repository is only for docker hub. That means in the documentation they mentioned as, for docker hub the format follows namespace /repository, but when it comes to ECR, it may be different. Like in the host name itself, they usually identify the user as well as, I think, repository, as well as namespace. So I think we just need to provide the repository, so it will be different for each and every registry. So this is the whole thing about this docker image tagging. So for more interesting videos, please subscribe. That's it guys, thank you, bye bye.